Good morning, distinguished members of the press, Suso ambassadors nationwide, and all Nigerian citizens. Thank you for joining us today for this crucial press briefing organized by the Stand Up Speak Out Initiative, Suso. I am Ezekiel Igodaro, the Southern Region Coordinator of Suso. Here with me today, I have by my right hand side,
My name is Ambassador Sadolo Divine. Thank you.
I am Ambassador Tennessee Wefun. Thank you.
all right, we are gathered here today to talk on the most important issue, of which is of utmost importance in our society, to discuss on the pervasive issue that have been trending on our social media space for the past few days on the issues of bad governance and the current protests that have been skyrocketing in our nation today. This is a press review that was presented by Suso on the issues hereby highlighted. The Stand Up Speak Out initiative supports any action against the injustice of our crucial socio-economic climate that has visited the untold suffering on our people across the country. We must always stand up and speak out against any social injustice. With respect to the current demand by the organizers of the protest of the August 1st planned mass protest, we are convinced that no responsible human rights crusader could put out such unattainable goals as could be seen in that document that has been circulated online, as they may seem to undermine the cause. Can any government worldwide afford education, free education at all levels for its over 150 million citizens that are educatable as Nigeria has? Obviously, this is not possible. It appears like either the government put out the script by itself to discredit the planned civil action, or the organizer of the protest or interlopers who generated the documents do not know what they want. The document sprays stupidity in its crudest form and undermines agitation for genuine reform that will lead to the desired change in society. No doubt there is too much waste in government in Nigeria, and we must all continue to use every legitimate avenue to press for social justice. With that being said already, going out on the street to demand that government must sell fuel at a cost of 100 naira per litre when it costs us over 200 naira to produce same litre is going on a full errand. Where does a broke government, as we have in Nigeria today, get the funds from to pay for the difference? Is it to push for more borrowing and continue to push the country to the brim? To be taken seriously as advocate of change in society, all right activists like us must limit our demand to achievable goals like: 1. All cars bought with government money and used for official work must be made or assembled in Nigeria. There are three major brands that have been set up in Nigeria now. These brands must be encouraged, patronized, and guided from foreign competitions by our government for them to be able to survive and thrive. 2. All toiletries, stationaries, chairs and tables and other locally made office accessories used in government must be made in Nigeria going forward. After all, most of these raw materials are gotten from this same Nigeria. So making them from Nigeria will promote a lot of economic change in Nigeria. 3. All wages and allowance paid to public servants, office holders should be reviewed, slashed, and set after public debate by the Civil Service Commission in a manner similar to the just concluded minimum wage negotiation, instead of allowing politicians who are short-term employees to set their own salaries and benefits by themselves, as it is alleged. Tenured civil servants who spend more years in public service and at a greater sacrifice do not enjoy such immoral privileges, and so politicians should not be allowed to enjoy such privileges either. In the light of this, these are few but very realistic demands that, when implemented, will significantly impact the Nigerian economy positively. 1. a boost in country local. Some of the impact of this economic advice, if it had been carried out, will lead to the following: one, a boost in country's local manufacturing. Two, add a lot of new jobs into the economy. Three, this will help reduce imports on Nigeria and help promote exportation in Nigeria economy. Five, it will help boost the naira value in our country, because on daily basis our country currency is getting depreciated because we rely so much solemnly on import duties rather than export duties. So if we keep producing all these products here in Nigeria and sending the finished product out of the country, it will help increase our economy and help boost our currency. Now, the lessons from the NSAS movement, which fell short of its goal, should teach us that when we embark on any journey, we must have the destination in mind all the time. We can reform Nigeria by taking positive, incremental, and progressive steps instead of setting out a bogus course that leads nowhere. Be vigilant. Do not allow anarchists to steal or derail us from this course until our society is free. Having heard all this, esteemed members of the press, I will allow my colleague to throw their own contributions on the said subject that has been discussed in this press briefing. From my left,
Okay. Thank you very much, Suso. As an ambassador for Suso, we believe in one thing, and that we believe in a lot of principles, ethical principles, moral principles that has guided us thus far. And I think one of them should be education. You see, education, I think the goal of education has been changed. It's no longer a process of enlightenment, but it's now seen as a process of intellectual garner, just to gather intellectuals, and there's no use for it. I believe a lot of persons today are not properly enlightened, and I think enlightenment will be one of the ways for us to resolve the current issues. Because I think majority of the youths that set out these, or if it is the youth or the conveners of these NSAS, you would notice something. They keep protesting and they don't learn from their last protest. They don't learn that you don't just protest. You have a voice. Do you notice something? Did you notice that the National Labour Congress did not come out for this protest? Probably because we've learned how to. I think a poem says they came for the communists and I was not a communist. Now they've learned, now that they're not coming after them, they're not feeling it. They were not for the people. I do not know why they were set up. So I think the next time that Nigerian youth should protest, they should be enlightened. So education will be a key to driving a progressive, sustainable development. Thank you very much.
thank you very much, Mr. Tennyson. Please, let's hear from Mr. Divine.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Usadolo Divine, and there's a quote I tend to remember which says, "Freedom is not freely given by the oppressor, rather the oppressed fight for their freedom." And the people of Nigeria have come out today to fight for their freedom. Freedom does not mean walking around without anybody disturbing you. Freedom means being able to get the necessary things that you want to survive. And most Nigerians today cannot afford the things to survive. I saw a video the other day of some people living under the bridge. That is very bad. And they are paying rent to live under the bridge. That is very bad. So these people coming out today to fight for their rights actually have a reason to fight for their rights, because they have to live. You have to live very comfortably for you to know that, okay, yes, I'm living with freedom. And ways to do this, like my ambassador here said, is that we should reduce the way we import things into the country. Rather, we should become a country that produces. We have a lot of natural resources. We have a lot of resources that we can use to start producing things and start exporting to other countries to for people to buy. I heard of a story of a carpenter that does his chairs here and everything, and he sends them to another country. Then people who are rich buy that same product from another country and bring them down again into Nigeria. You can just imagine that. So let's start patronizing people that do their works here instead of going outside to get. This press conference is not to fight the government at all. We're just here to render our voices to say that we need freedom. We need to be able to afford the basic things of life. That is just it. Thank you very much.
All right. Having said all, we believe certainly that every government is entitled to the welfare of her citizens, and it is very imperative for every government to give voice and hear feedback from the citizens on how they want to be governed in a sovereign state. This press briefing is not for us to antagonize the government. Rather, it is us rendering solutions to some of the identified issues that have been ravaging our economy over time. We believe that with this, if all of these are put into consideration, Nigeria will have a brighter economy. Nigeria will become a better place for every one of us. We call on every Nigeria to please embrace peace even as they engage in this protest exercise nationwide. And please, let's not forget the core value, the core goal why this protest is in place. While we are praying for a better Nigeria, we pray that God give our leaders the wisdom for them to run the affair of this country. God bless Nigeria. God bless Suso Nigeria. God bless Suso worldwide. And God bless the presidency.